Fandemically reviewed, part of the Fandemic. This is a podcast about the things you love and the voices that do and don't. Each episode, I'm going to take a beloved movie, TV show, or something. I'll give my review, then read the best and worst, all so you can make up your own damn mind, all in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Butin, who is just getting over a cold, and this is Fandemically Reviewed. Today, I am going to go straight into Argyle. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. But before I can do that, let me go ahead and go over some of the dirty deets of Argyle. Argyle was directed by Matthew Vaughn, and the writer was Jason Fuchs. The main stars of the movie is Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Dua Lipa, John Cena, Catherine O'Hara, Samuel L. Jackson. Such a stellar cast. The IMDb rated this one at a 6.1 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter came up with 35%, and the audience score of this movie is actually 70%. So we'll see where I line up with my review here in a minute. The IMDb synopsis is a reclusive author who writes espionage novels about a secret agent in a global spy syndicate realizes the plot of the new book she's writing starts to mirror real world events in real time. So that sounds about right. Here is my review system. I start off with a 1 through 5. My lowest is a 1, and that is a "you shall not pass." That is a yeah, I'm definitely missing something, or it's just not my cup of tea. A 2 out of 5 is going to be an "are you not entertained?" I liked it. Not sure what other people think, or I really care, but you know what? I liked it. There is something in there. 3 out of 5 is a good old fashioned "I'll be back." Did I miss something? Is it worth another watch? Will I watch it again? Number 4 to 5 is not that. It is "May the Force be with you." This is an enter into my fandom. I want to know more. I want to read fan fiction. I want to see fan stuff. I want to read into it. I want to know more about the characters. And finally, a 5 out of 5, staying with Star Wars. No, I am your father. Was there something in this movie that was actually life changing? A twist, some type of acting, something that's life changing in the movie. All right. With that, let's go ahead and get right into the reviews. Now, I go to IMDb for as much as my reviews as I can. And so I base the reviews I choose solely on the title alone and have not read through them. So please forgive me if I mispronunciate words. I normally know talk good. I will do my best to read them as I see it. Punctuation good, bad, and all. So here we go. On the first review I'm going to do is a bad review from IMDb. And this one is a little bit long, actually. And it's called "Like Watching a Boat Full of Leaks Sink." This is from the 4th of February of 2024. Taking my seat, I had my fingers crossed that director Matthew Vaughn from Kingsman had resurrected his career with a romping good spy story set against a cracking soundtrack with some great actors. The opening with the red hot Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill was upbeat, but alas, from the sight of Cavill's haircut onwards, it was all downhill. The story introduces the pudgy, best-selling spy writer Ellie Conway. Now, pudgy, that's not fair. That has nothing to do with this movie. But anyway, that let me get back to it. Ellie Conway, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, daughter of director Ron Howard, presented both as an author and later, spoiler alert, as a special agent. Howard's performance scores low on credibility and high on irritability. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the charisma or range to carry the part. But is it all her fault? Almost from the opening, we're served up the thinnest of premises that somehow Ellie's published novels are predictive, and so she becomes a target for the Secret Service. Thus, her real life intersects with her fiction. Throw in a pet cat and you have a winner, right? Wrong. The cat gags might be the high point, but like the film, even they wear thin. There was a great opportunity here to contrast the difference between Ellie's romanticized fiction and the gritty reality of the spy world. But there's a problem. By glamming Ellie up and adding in all this movie fiction spy effects story doesn't work. With another director and script, this might have been a good movie. Henry Cavill as Ellie's fictional character and foil, Agent Argyle, and the film's namesake, runs himself out of contention for any Bond films. His performance is more wooden than Pinocchio's, and like his high haircut, awkward. As to the plot, it has more holes in it than cheese. Scriptwriter Jason Fuchs asks the viewers to suspend disbelief so many times that it becomes a lesson of idiocy. Where they trying to parody the good old super spy genre with a twist to every twist. Unfortunately, the result is just plain dumb. For example, Pudgy Ellie suddenly becomes a crack shot and hyper fit operative, even though, according to the story, she spent the last 5 years sitting on her arse, eating junk food and tapping out vapid novels. The film uses dance sequences as humor, but mostly they're crudely delivered, a bit like the oil scene where Killer Ellie can suddenly ice skate through it. But hang on, wasn't the bit about her being an ice skater just a memory plant? So how did she get the skills? Physically speaking, yeah, that's right. Most of us can execute a quadruple axel on a whim. And FYI, oil is not ice. Spy Aiden, Wilde's character, should be shot for the stupidity of his dialogue alone. Although actor Sam Rockwell does his best with the appalling material, one wonders what was anyone thinking, if they were thinking at all. You missed your question mark there, guy. Just as the Kingsmen got the pace, soundtrack, and acting just right, Argyle is the opposite. The music's wrong, the pace is wrong, the acting is embarrassing, and the plot is woeful. This was a bit like watching a boat full leak sink. No expense spared, and no CGI could save it. Resisting the strong urge to leave several times over, I sat this pointless misery out until I could bear no more. Not even veteran actors Richard E. Grant, Bryan Cranston, and Samuel L. Jackson could save this purported $200 million howler. 2 hours and 19 minutes too long. It's not often that one resents the $35 spent on a premium ticket. But if I could, I'd tap at the box office window and beg for my money back. Rating, get a refund before you sit down. I don't know if I understand that at all, but okay. So now it's up to you to decide on this review of Argyle. Where would you rank this? Now, with that, let's go ahead and go right into a good review. And a good review of this is called For a Good Time Call. This is a 10-star review on IMDb. So critics have made their feelings and opinions clear about this movie. I respect their opinions, but I disagree. This is no spoiler review. Did you enjoy any of the following movies? Please note the comments besides the movie titles. Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. Argyle borrows heavily from this film. Point taken. Roadhouse Bond films. Argyle has the same pacing and act structure. Another point for this guy. Okay. The Long Kiss Goodnight. Argyle borrows heavily from this film. I see it. The Thomas Crown Affair, Hot Fuzz, the Austin Powers movies. I mention this because obviously Matthew Vaughn was watching a lot of these movies throughout the pandemic, and I applaud parents sharing and discussing these movies with their children. He wanted to make a movie that he could watch with his kids. So if you walk into this movie with a serious attitude, then you have lost the plot. As a person with ADHD, I have never checked my watch. The movie kept my attention effortlessly, and that doesn't happen often. As far as the mid-credit scene, if you read the first quarter of the book, then you will get Cavill part at the end, and you will get the mid-credit scene, which made me ready for Aubrey Argyle movie of the book in the Kingsman universe. Turn your nose up at this good time and enter at your own risk. This guy made some solid points. Um, Not a lot. That was good. That was really good. So it actually probably changed my own review a little bit. But anyway, um, it's time for you to decide on this. Where would you rank? Where would you rank this review? And let's go on to my review. And my review, I rated this as 6 stars on IMDb, and I'll go through my rating scale here in just a minute. I recently watched Argyle. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the movie. There were things in the movie that I loved, liked, was okay with, and didn't care for. This movie had a little bit of everything. With the Matthew Vaughn secret seasoning, there were a ton of twists in this movie, and I don't want to spoil them for you. This is a movie that will definitely have you talking afterwards. I thought the characters were fantastic in it. I think Cavill and Cena did what they needed to do. Sam Rockwell, in my opinion, was the breakaway star. I loved every moment he was on screen. Bryce was just okay in this. I don't think she was bad, but I also don't think she was great. Yes, I enjoyed the movie. Yes, I'd watch it again. Yes, there are some big plot holes if you think about it too hard. Yes, I was very entertained by this movie. And yes, I want you to watch it as well. So, with that, my rating of this one is going to be a 3 out of 5, and I'll be back. I liked it. I wouldn't mind watching it again with my wife and kids. So, it's time for you to decide, where do you think you fit? If you've watched it, let me know. And where would you put it from 1 out of 5, a you shall not pass, all the way to a no, I am not your father? There were those twists, but were they big enough to be life changing? I don't know. So, uh, with that, you can find me, follow me, friend me on Facebook at The Fandemic, TikTok at Fandemic1, Instagram at The Fandemic1. If you feel there's more of a conversation, feel free to reach out and let's talk. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next guest on The Fandemic. So if you want to talk Argyle, let's talk. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thefandemic. Find us on Patreon at patreon.com/ PVOTN Fandemic. Become an episode assistant, an episode producer, a pre-veg producer like Stacy, or become part of the con. Yes, you can be part of the Council of Nerds starting at $5 a month. Become a monthly supporter, or just send me some money straight to PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Buchanan. I won't say no. Or, you know what, if you can monetarily, just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave me a 5-star review. And if you like this, check out All Things Fandemic. You can also order my kids' books, Leveling Up Awesome and Leveling Up Your Awesome, and Stuffed Animal Night Force versus the Dream Invaders. Remember, do or do not, there is no try. Have a good